Hello and welcome to Stelmo's Rants and Raves. This is my maiden broadcast, and I suspect that moving forward there will be a lot more um, rants than raves. Although we'll have a couple raves in there to keep it fair. Um, you know, Slowly but surely, I'm coming to the conclusion that we've lost our country. If anyone would have told me, let's say 20 years ago, we were going through half the stuff that's going on right now, I'd have thought that these people uh, would be in serious need of how should we say, a psychiatrist. Um, it's just, I don't know. And let me be clear, who do I blame for this? Well, I blame the Republicans because they just don't seem to get it. Never. They always promise a lot and deliver very little, and that's what we're seeing with this Congress now. And this is the part that doesn't uh, get to me. And if anyone has any ideas on this, I'd be more than willing to read what you have to say. But uh, there is an active socialist movement going on right now in our country. And what happens when a strong armed socialist consolidates and takes power? Well, the only ones that gain in that scenario are the morticians. And I don't think I have to, well, they don't like me spelling out what exactly has to happen for the mortician uh, services to be rendered, but I think everyone gets the picture. And who do they go after? They go after their enemies, just like many of them are calling for now. Only if the Republican Party doesn't wake up and smell uh, whatever it is that they need to smell to actually wake up and start saving this country, it's going to be lost. There is no pushback from the Republicans. We're working on 2 years into the Trump administration. And yeah, there's been some arrests, but many of the rest have had problems. And one has to look at these problems and say, are they doing this intentionally just to satisfy the base, saying, well, gee, we charged them, but then the courts let them off for one reason or another. And of course, what they leave out of that is that they're the ones causing the problems. Now, I don't know what it is with Donald Trump, but seems to me to have the hardest luck when it comes to picking a attorney general. He had Jeff Sessions. Now, I used to think highly of Jeff Sessions. He was a law and order man when he was in Alabama. Uh, I have no idea what happened to him when he became Donald Trump's first attorney general. But, within a very short time, he announced he wasn't going after people like Clapper or Brennan or Lois Lerner or any of the other people who we know they committed crimes. It wasn't like we suspected. We knew they committed crimes. And they keep getting away with all these crimes. Now, when I was young, capital punishment was illegal. And of course, there was the push to re-legalize it, which eventually happened. And the argument always is, we have to have a penalty for crimes, and the penalty has to be sufficient to the seriousness of the crime. And this was a winning argument at that point in time, and it did win. But unfortunately, there's the politician exemption to crimes because, yeah, I know there's people going to point to this politician or that politician, but that did get charged. But so many that we know about have not been charged. And if there is no pushback, there is no reason for anybody to cease and desist what they're doing. They're going to continue. And that's what we see with the Socialist Party out there is they keep reaching out and taking, and their hand never gets slapped, so they keep taking more. And this is the way it's going to keep going. And I just don't get this, because there are so many ways that the Republicans could, in fact, do effective pushback. Yes, I understand they don't have 60 senators in the Senate. I get that. But that's not a reason not to vote on legislation. They need to expose the Democrats as much as possible. Many of these lame Democrats don't exactly follow the news, so they don't know what's happening. So you have to saturate the airwaves to get through to them. And it's a necessary battle, but it's just not being done. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why there is no pushback. Yeah, perhaps there's a little bit more from the Republicans than Democrats, but it seems to me we're in a doom loop. The only thing that I think remains unknown at this time is, when is the collapse going to come, and what's ultimately going to cause the collapse. But every day I say, you know what? I think I've seen it all. This has been the worst of it. But yet every day I go to the news, and it's just more terrible stories I don't understand. And let me just give one example here. I was just reading where Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey, who's definitely a loony leftist, if ever there was one, and his aide carried a loaded weapon and was arrested at Congress, and he was charged with the crime, but a Republican attorney, or a Republican United States attorney, decided, you know what, we're going to cut him some slack and let him go. Do they think it would work the other way? No, it doesn't work the other way. It doesn't. It's only a one-way street. And the Democrats know how to play the Republicans, and the Republicans fall for it all the time. And so much so that it makes me begin to wonder, are they doing that intentionally? Are they also part of all of this corrupt nonsense we're seeing? I don't know, but this country, everyone should know that what's happening is unsustainable, but yet nobody wants to step in and solve these problems. So this is my first, like I said in the beginning, my first broadcast, and I'm going to be moving forward with some other ideas I have. It seems that in many cases I have, my ideas are not exactly the same that are being spewed by the Republican Party. So hopefully I can get some listeners out there, and I'll provide the content, and y'all have a great day. Stay safe. It's a crazy world out there. It gets crazier by the day. Who knows where it's going to end up. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.